YouTube, so I have something really serious to ask you guys. I'm gonna run the situation by you guys to start with. Number one, it was approximately about 6:30 when the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department SWAT team pulled up in my complex. They proceeded to park. They then got off of the truck because, as everybody's well aware, they drive a convoy style truck. And basically, there's a walkway right by my patio, and they were fully armed. They had their guns, their arsenals drawn up, and not only were they drawn up, but they had their shields. And all the residents who were actively living here, including ourselves, were given orders to stay in our homes or they would shoot at us, like as if we were deemed a threat or something. And number one. Number two, basically, SWAT came out. There was crime scene investigation, crime scene analysis, HSU, which is a completely different detective department within the LVMPD itself. Pretty much all of the major investigators were out here on Sunday when SWAT was here. This continued for hours. Like, I'm talking about, it went until 2 in the morning. Okay? That's exactly when the LVMPD and the rest of the detectives took off. Like, I wasn't willing to go to bed until I knew that they were gone and, like, people were, like, stable again. Because they don't realize they're not just affecting themselves, they're affecting everybody around them, and it really messes with everybody. And so, my question is, do you guys think that I should call the Nevada Real Estate Department and report this complex and the landlords due to the crime that took place? Because this is a first-degree murder. Unfortunately, what they thought was a hostage situation turns out quickly to end up in murder. I don't know if the person got murdered because they called the police, but either way, the person who ended up committing the murder ended up being caught anyway. So I think, honestly, it didn't make a big difference because somebody ended up dying anyway. You know what I mean? And so my question to you is, do you guys think about it for a minute. It's a first-degree murder. Do you think I should call the state on these people? Number one. Number two, there is a young single mother who lives here. I think she has 4 kids, just like I do. It's an African-American family. Absolutely nice. Really sweet people. Well, her son is like in football. So, I mean, it just kind of makes sense that there would by accidentally be a broken window. Well, it turns out that my landlord, the same crap face that is letting a first-degree murderer stay in this complex, turns out that she's kicking that family out and not this person that committed a serious crime. If you ask me, that's a serious sign of trouble. Like, really big sign of trouble. I need your guys' advice, your input, whatever you want to call it. I need to know if you guys think I should call the state on these people, because the LVMPD, better known as Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, has been called out here a multitude of times. And really, quite frankly, they're getting kind of tired of it because their officers work so rigorously and tired. It's just exhausting. You know, there's no undoing what they've seen. You know, and just because they wear badges, just because they're in uniform, doesn't mean that they don't get traumatized. When you see a dead body, whether it is covered with a tarp or not, and whether you see guts or not, it is equally traumatizing. And I just can't begin to explain the expression on these detectives' faces. And not only the detectives, but the officer who was the last one to leave. He ended up leaving approximately like 1:45 a.m. when the rest of the detectives decided to stick around and wait and see what the hell was going on. And, you know, I made it very clear I was loud enough to where they could hear me. I'm not going to go in my house until I know that everybody here is safe. Because who the fuck would feel safe with a serial killer here? You know what I mean? And so, my question to you guys is, do you guys think I should get the state involved? Because I have called all of their complexes. None have availabilities. Nobody's moving. And I don't feel comfortable being here with my children anymore. I just don't. I don't feel safe being here with my kids anymore. I am a mom and a teacher. I homeschool my kids. However, I should state that right now we are focused on survival skills, home economics, things to prep them for when they actually leave and grow up and things like that. They're little. My oldest is gonna be 11 in October. My other daughter is 9, getting ready to be 10, and my two little ones I don't really consider them students yet because they're too little in accordance with the state. So, but I will say that we're doing survival skills and we're teaching home economics, cooking skills, cleaning skills, the whole shebang, because I want my kids to be independent, self-sufficient, reliable citizens who can be accounted for and know that they can be people to turn to and not away from. So with that being said, please let me know if you think I should call the state on these people. Like, it's really bad, you guys. This marks the 3rd murder in this apartment complex alone within the past 2 years. Just last year, there was this 3-year-old little girl who got killed by her mom's boyfriend, who actually, ironically, the home is right in front of the office. And then prior to that, the year before 2019, which is the year I gave birth to my baby, somebody got shot by the front gate. You gotta understand, and I don't get it myself. We have gates here. Why they don't get closed, it's beside me. I've been told that they were gonna get spikes for the floor. They never did. They got cameras instead. What the hell's the camera gonna do? The crimes are persistent. They're ongoing. It's getting more and more severe. There has been already 3 murders that I am actively aware of. Actually, there's a total of 4, because there was another one where somebody from the back got murdered and they put the body in the dumpster and they lit it on fire as a way to not be caught, but they got caught anyway, because when you light a body on fire and there's teeth or fingernails or even hair left, that's a positive DNA sample which will lead to the killer, etc. Because 9 times out of 10, every killer leaves some kind of residue, whether it be on the clothes, on the body. Like, there's fingerprints. I'm pretty sure you can kind of see the funky ass looking fingerprint that I got. But we all possess them. So if you try to go out and murder somebody, your fingerprints will be found. And I will say that, that body in particular, one of the things that startled me the most was that they killed a person and they threw the body in the dumpster and lit it on fire as a means to dispose. But what they neglected to see was that that person that they killed had teeth that remained intact. And so when they found the head of the body, they found the teeth and they ran the teeth. I don't know the machine, the technology that they utilize to get a positive ID on the person and a name and a birthday to find the killer. But I will tell you this, that they absolutely work, and they ended up finding the person, and that person was made to move. But, just like I said before, there's no hiding. If you're going to be a killer, you're stupid, period, because, really at the end of the day, you're going to get found anyway. So there's really no true purpose for what you're going to do. No matter who it is, no matter what went on, no matter what was said or told. And, in the case of the body that was found in the dumpster, they found that person exactly a week and a half later. What that means? I don't know. But I do know that this is not acceptable. This marks, actually, now that I recount, 4 total murders. The first one being the body in the back in the dumpster. I'm sorry. First one is the body in the dumpster. The second one is the little girl that got murdered by her mother's boyfriend by the front office. That one was all over the news. The mother was such a scumbag that she even went on to say that she didn't want accountability with the murder of her own daughter because she was out working. So in her puny brain, her job is more important than the well-being and safety of her daughter, which now ironically is dead. And that is all due to the fact that she was negligent in protecting and caring for her child. I should also let you know that me and a couple of other residents got involved in that case because there was a baby that got killed. And upon further investigation, we found that the mother was actually in the room at the time of the murder of the little girl. She was, in fact, not at her job the way she was portraying all over the media, etc., etc., etc. Well, long story short, she is now serving a life sentence for being a participant in the murder of her own daughter. The boyfriend at the time gave the little girl some kind of allergy medication or something that subdued her, and ultimately it messed her up to the point that she died. So the girl, at the time of her death, from what we investigated and found out, the guy gave her medication that made her extremely drowsy, and then he began beating her physically up, grabbing the little girl from the hips and her abdomen, meaning her stomach, and hitting her, the back of her head, on the wall. And he did that a good 5 times. And by the time that her poor little body got to the coroner's office, they couldn't even prepare her body because her skull was that messed up. That the people who work in the mortuary couldn't even prep the body, meaning her hair and, whatever else. Because that's how badly it was. I cannot believe these people who prey on kids, who kill them, and then they don't want responsibility. What the fuck? That's not okay. It will never be okay. It will never be accepted. It will never be tolerated, period. I don't give a fuck where you go in life. Leave people and children alone. So going back to the murder that took place last Sunday, that house is literally 3 houses down that way. And I have not been able to rest easy ever since. I stay up literally until 2 in the morning because I just keep thinking that these mother effers are going to come and try some crap. Nobody deserves to live like that, period. I don't give a rat's ass what race you are, how tall you are, how skinny you are, how fat you are, what your background is, whether you're educated or you're not educated. Nobody needs to live their life in fear. And right now, if I'm being 100% honest with you guys, it's awful. I homeschool my 2 daughters. We're here all the time. And nothing's being done by the landlord. It's just a pat on the back to her. Oh, it's another crime. Good job, Metro. You did your job. But in her brain, she don't give a flying rat's ass about her tenants, meaning the residents who are living here. That is beyond wrong. Beyond wrong. So, like I said previously, go down in the comments below and let me know if you think I should call the state of Nevada real estate department on this place, because this is the 4th murder within the past 3 to 4 years. What's the point of a criminal background check if criminals are going to reside in the same very place that's proclaiming to do criminal background checks? Tell me. Because to me, it doesn't have a purpose. This murder just literally took place last weekend. The house is like 3 houses down from where we're at. How can anybody in their right mind live comfortably and feel safe teaching without anxiety and panic attacks, if anything, and think that that's okay? It's not okay. What this landlord is doing is not acceptable. And there's a landlord that is above her, and that little dumb buttery ball face doesn't want to do shit either. Why are they working here? We need to get them ostracized, outed, whatever you want to call it. But they need to leave. We need people who care about their residents, not the opposite. All right, bye.